services. And in this video, we're going to talk about blogging on your website and why it's important for building your brand, especially locally. So blogging is an interesting one. If you're looking at becoming more popular in your area digitally, it's a very good way of getting traffic and helping your positioning in the marketplace, because positioning is everything. Like, as you know, I've said on other videos, like the football table, if you're positioned at the bottom, you get the bottom. If you're positioned at the top, you get the top. If you're mid-table positioning, and we all get paid based on where we are in our positioning within the marketplace. Blogging definitely helps us position ourselves higher. So it's something to really consider, start doing, or maybe do differently if you're already doing it. But again, if you're looking to grow in an area, then it's a definite something you should be putting some time into each week, or at least every 2 weeks. So in this presentation, we'll develop a better understanding of the positioning in the marketplace, which is pretty much what I've just said. Why blogging can help you be found online and position you as the expert. Why it is important if you want to escape lower paid work, and how to get started and what to talk about in your blogs. So introduction, just a quick one from me, just in case you don't know who I am. If this is the first video you've watched, if you've watched others, I'm sorry I'm saying it again, but just for those that don't know, my name is Aaron Johnsfield. I have been in the industry now for 20 years and I've had my own business for 10. My installation business is a multi-award winning business, and we work in retail and contracts. We're a 7-figure and growing business. We've nearly done 1,200 installations 2022, and we're projected for further growth in 2023. I'm also the founder of KBB Supply Services, with a vision to change the industry. And what we mean by that is we believe, and I believe strongly, and most of the people that we speak to believe, that the industry is upside down. By that we mean, the profits are taken from the top. The big companies take the profits, leave us with the installation work to do, and usually there's not enough in it for us to make the rewards that really we should be getting. Now, obviously, some people have broke that mold and do get paid, because you're the true experts in the industry. So what we're looking to do is give you all the tools through the software we do, the trade partner program, basically. So if you're not a trade partner, obviously you would become one and find all the things out that we do to help position you in your area better, and give you all the tools to go and do your own jobs, so you can basically charge what you should be charging and getting the rewards that you should be getting for being the industry expert. Because let's face it, the trade counters, the distributors, the suppliers aren't the experts. They're just sort of involved, if you get me. But we think it should be done differently, and that means that fitter-led, expert-led, which means that you control the process. And as a trade partner, you can certainly do that. So we'll move on. So where are you positioned now? Where do you want to be positioned? So again, if you're doing labor-only work, you're getting dictated to on pricing. You can't always put enough on the job because the customers either bought the kitchen already, or you're getting the kitchen from somewhere where it might not be cost effective, and you're going to price yourself out of it. So but this all comes down to positioning. If you're positioned better, and you can get the customers aware of who you are before they go anywhere else, and your marketing is good, you will be the expert to them, and that means you can drive a higher price, obviously by providing a better service. And that's what I think everybody needs to be aiming to do, to better themselves, because things aren't getting any easier, and the longer we stay tucking under trade counters, showrooms, and all the rest of it, it's not going to bode well for us as installers in the long term to stay there. So positioning is all about that, and again, this will drive to what your ambitions are. You've got to be honest with yourself. If you want to grow, you need to be positioned well. If you're happy where you are, obviously stay where you are, but in the long term, staying where you are isn't a good strategy. You should watch the other video on cost of living, because obviously I explain in a lot more detail why it's not a good strategy to stay where you are, and you should be thinking about moving forwards. So think about where you are now in that league table, and I'm not saying it's good fitters at the top and bad fitters at the bottom. It's not that at all. Sometimes it's the other way around. Positioning is how you are perceived to the customer. So where does the customer see you? Where does that consumer see you? Now, if they see you as just a fitter, no website, no digital presence, no reviews to look through and things like that, your positioning is very, very weak, and you will probably only ever be able to do the work for showrooms and fit only jobs because the customers aren't. There's people that are better positioned than you, basically. So that's why. It's not because you're wrong or you don't know what to do. It's because there's people that the customers will find first who've got good websites, got good marketing, got good reviews, got good tools, got a good customer journey, which again, there's a video on customer journey, so go and look at that. So that's what positioning is about. It is not about how good you are at what you do as a kitchen fitter. It's about how your business is perceived, or you are perceived to the consumer when they are looking for, a kitchen service. So, if you want to be providing your own product, marking that product up to make money, pricing your own installation work and then marking that up to make even more money, if you've got good positioning, people will spend more money with you because they trust you, and that's what it's about. But when they can't find ways to trust you, your pricing will always be lower because you won't be able to command that higher price because positioning is not as good. So the better you can get your positioning, the better for you in the long term, your business, your family, more money, all the rest of it. So how blogging can help? If you've got a website, obviously you need a website first. The blogging positions you as an expert, basically. So if you've got a blog section of your website, like for instance in our business, when we're in say a customer's inquired with us, we'll send them emails to say, I think you'll find this blog interesting, and that might be about what to expect during an installation, educating the customer on what's going to happen next, and nurturing through those processes. Now blogs can help with that, so you can point people to blogs specifically. Pricing's a big one. So, a customer might challenge you on, why is this price like that? Why is that price like that? Well, if you think I'm too expensive, please read this blog that I've wrote on pricing. So you might write a blog about why your prices are the way they are. And, if you're a little bit more expensive, then justify it in that blog, what you do, how you do it. And, that can be a useful way to use blogs as well. So sending people directly to them. Local search as well. So if people are searching for stuff locally, you can come up on the local search using the keywords, obviously, that you'll be using because you're in that industry. So again, this is all about positioning, how you're being viewed to the customer. So if you're addressing these issues and you're using these pieces of content to educate them, and even if it's finding questions, to answers, that's a really good way to use blogs, which we'll come on to. Again, we've said positioning equals pay grade. Better positioning equals better pay, which is what I've just said on the previous slide, where, top of the table in positioning, trusted, good marketing, good website, good customer journey, proven process, good software, all the rest of it. So it's efficient. That's great positioning, and that pushes you to the top, which means you will be getting more work. You will be charging more. You'll be able to pick the jobs that you want. So, and turn away the ones you don't want, because a big thing, what you'll probably be aware of, and it's where we all started, let's face it, we end up taking jobs on that we don't want. And deep down, we know we don't want them, or we know it's going to be a pain, or there's things just about the job that we don't like. Now, when you're in a great positioning piece, and you're up there, you can pick the jobs you want, because customers will be falling at your feet. We, in our businesses where we do installations, we pick the jobs we want because our marketing is very good, and we won't get involved in jobs that we don't want to get involved in. But that's because we've got the luxury of having the positioning, which is really high. in the table. So better positioning, better pay, simple as that. So what to blog about? As I've said, you can use the blog for different reasons. You can take them, answer questions that you're getting all the time. If you think of the last 10, 15 questions you got asked by a customer, why this, why that, and think how many times, if these are questions that come up quite a lot, write a blog about it, and be helpful. If a customer says, oh, what should I do about this? Well, I think this, but here's a blog I wrote, send them a link. You're just being helpful. And this might be an existing customer, so don't think that it's always about winning new work. It's also about positioning yourself with your current customers and your past customers, because if they think you're, the kitchen god, then they'll tell their friends. And this is again how referral work comes, and word of mouth, because you've got people saying good things about you. So again, using the blogs for, emotional issues and triggers that customers are always asking about, talk about that, send them the links. And then obviously you've got industry stuff that you can talk about as well, which we'll come on to in a moment. So thinking about the customer's emotions in the buying phase, again, they're going to be worried about installation, the costs. So there's a few subjects here that you can, how to prepare for an installation, why my costs are a certain way, how you should maintain your kitchen, stuff like that, just loads of stuff. And it's all knowledge you've got, but no one knows you've got it. So get it out, let them know that you are that knowledgeable guy. Because if it's all in your head and you have to have these conversations constantly to sort of convince people, it's very tiring, and it's not sustainable really. So having a blog on your website section is really, really helpful. So ideas, like I've just said, you can talk about stuff to do with your business and your customer journey that, you can address general questions in your blogs. And I'd highly recommend it, because we do the same thing and it works an absolute treat. But here are some of the suggestions. So like I've already mentioned, the top one, what to expect during a kitchen installation, what's the most popular trends in the last 5 years, which worktop shall I choose? Again, that's always something that, people change their mind on. If they've spent more on the furniture than they plan to, or more on their appliances, they might want to change the worktop. But you might have opinions on, well, if you're having this type of door, you might want this type of worktop, or if if you're having a Belfast sink, you can't have a laminate worktop, all that type of stuff. So, which to us is obvious, but to them it's not. So that's always handy. Again, if a customer's having I don't know what worktop to have, if you've wrote a blog on it, send it to them. Is quartz worth the money compared to laminate? Again, it's an opinion piece, but they'll be interested to know, and people will be interested to get your opinion, especially if you've got people looking to inquire with you. You got to bear in mind, a lot of these people on your website might not have inquired with you yet, and then they're reading these blogs, and if what you're saying is, sounding like, this guy knows what he's on about, you're building that trust through the blog. We get a lot of traffic to our blogs, and we know that it helps with our conversion. Otherwise we wouldn't tell you to do it, for one, and we wouldn't do it ourselves. So it does work. Next one, should I get solid wood worktop? Should I get a hot tap? Looking at energy efficiency at the moment, he might have a different spin on that one. How much does it cost to install a kitchen? Again, are induction hobs any good? These are just, frequent questions. So there's 10, what one of the other ones, 8 to 10 blogs there that you could write straight off the bat, and use those as template sort of subjects to write about. 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. It doesn't need to be loads. And then at the bottom of the blog, just have a way to get in touch with you. Make contact with us today. Here you go, booking a survey. All that type of stuff. Because there's going to be a point when they're on your website where they go, right, I like this guy, I'm going to inquire, and just give them that opportunity at the bottom of every blog. If you want more ideas, there's loads. There's tools online you can use. There's one, answerthepublic.com, where if you go to that domain, there's others as well. So, you don't just have to use that one. But this is one that's very, very comprehensive. So it's got, all the different words around kitchens. So I've just typed in kitchens, and then you've got how, are, which, can, who, where, will, what, when. So and then it's got all the different subject fields. And what this tool does is it pulls from the search engines what people are asking. So the strategy here with this is a bit of a broader strategy, because you're going, well, we know that people on Google and these search engines are searching for these things. Now, and I get that somebody in Scotland, if you're in London and someone in Scotland finds your website, they're probably not going to become a customer, and I get that. But what it will do for your website is a lot of good, because Google and the search engines will notice that your website's getting more visitors, and it will like that, and it will like the content, and it will start helping your natural ranking on the search engine. So although not everybody will or may become a customer, and obviously you're going to get a lot of people on there that are just sort of, getting information and all the rest of it, but the strategy is broad. You can use the blogs for customers, current customers, past customers, by addressing certain issues in those blogs and answering questions. Then you go to tools like this to see, right, okay, let's see what's going on the search engines. Let's write a blog about this. And that's then just helping traffic, because this is just helping traffic, and that'll just help the website become more trustworthy to Google and start ranking better against other websites. So answerthepublic.com, have a look there, see what you think. So again, this is all time, and I get that, it is time consuming, some of this. But it's worthwhile. And if you're serious about growing your business in the local area, you have to do this stuff, only because other people are doing it, so if you want to get at least with them or better ahead of them, then you're going to have to get involved with this and do it, especially the big sheds. Again, we want to get in front of the big sheds. We want our trade partners to have good websites, good marketing. This is all part of that, and if we don't do the hard work, then we won't get there. So what I do with your blog is either make a video with the blog. Again, you could just be talking about the blog, or you could do it the other way around. You could film the video of yourself, just like I'm doing now, and then you can get a transcript. So most softwares now where you film the video, you can get the transcript of it. So we use Loom, which is a piece of software that records like this and does screen share, but you could do something similar. And then, so if you don't want to write the blog, you can record the blog on a video, then get the transcript of it. There's a website called rev.com that you can send the video to, and it'll send you the written wording that's in that video back within a few minutes. And it's very cheap to use. Then you can just copy and paste that, obviously edit out bits that need editing out, and then put that on your website with the video. I mean, if you can put the video on your website that's basically the same as the blog, put the video on YouTube, put the blog on your website, then you get traffic from the two areas, and the search engines would love that. So, that's something to help in that regard. Again, it's a bit more time, and I get that, but again, this is a long-term strategy, and you don't have to do this every day. It's once or twice every fortnight. So if you can maximize the blog, make sure you do. Make sure you post it onto your social media channels, including your Google My Business page, maps. And so Google My Business is a really, really critical piece that you must be using. So when you've done your blog, put it on your website, post it to your social medias with the links back, and then put it on your Google My Business page with some pictures or something, because that, again, with the search engines will see the content and people moving around that, and you'd be surprised, you will get traffic. It will help. But make sure you maximize it by doing a video, getting it onto your social media, including your Google business page. I put Google business stroke maps because they're changing at the moment. So it was Google My Business, now it's Google Maps. So it's in the middle of a transition. So a book recommendation. So this is a bit of the thing I showed you a minute ago, the Answer the Public, it's inbound marketing strategy, this. So what we mean by inbound marketing is it's customers coming to you for sort of answers. Whereas when you do ads, you're putting the ads out and you're trying to get people in. So that's outbound marketing. Inbound marketing is where you're putting content somewhere, people are finding it, and then they're inquiring with you. So you're just laying the bait. They're taking it, and then some of those people, when you've got enough content on there, will start inquiring with you. And this book called They Ask You Answer is just about that strategy of inbound marketing, which is basically what I've been through today. It's basically putting blogs and content online that answer the questions that your customers feel are important to them. So it's definitely worth a read. It's on Audible as well as an audio book, but it's definitely worth your time to go and have a look at that, listen to it, and there's some interesting stories in there as well. I've met the guy who wrote this book, and he built a big business in the US selling pools, which is random, obviously, but it works. And I definitely recommend that if you're serious about growing and becoming that local brand, then it's definitely something that's worth putting your time and effort into. So like I've said, you don't need to do it all the time. Once a fortnight is fine for a blog, because over a year, that's 25 blogs approximately. So, you don't need to be thinking, oh God, I've got to write 10 blogs, I've got to do, you just get a blog section on your website. If you got your website from us, speak to us about putting a blog section on there, if there's not one already. And if you've got a current website and it doesn't have a blog section, speak to your web developer, see if they can put one on. If not, speak to us, we can probably do it for you. But again, once a fortnight is fine. So that's 2 a month. So you just play the long game. Don't think, it's going to take loads of time up this. Just get the blog thing on your website. If it's not there already, get one on there and plan them out. So every 2 weeks, I'll do a blog. If you can do one every week, fine. And if you've got time to write 10, crack on. But just be realistic and just think, right, 12 months time from now, I'll have 20, 25 blogs on my website. That is more than enough. That is loads. I don't even think we've got, 25 on ours, because we just pick the subjects that matter. And when we think that something comes up that matters again, we'll add another one, and we'll move it along. But don't be thinking you have to go mad. If you want to go mad, go mad. Start a YouTube channel and all that. It won't do you any harm. But yeah, once a fortnight's fine, so don't overthink that one. And thank you. So that's the end of it. But blogging, dead important. Growing your local brand, positioning yourself higher up, getting the search engines liking your website, and it's definitely something that I would highly recommend putting some time into. Again, you're talking a couple of hours every fortnight, so 1 hour a week. On average, it's not a big ask. I get that some of you won't be technically savvy. So if you're struggling, email us at trade@kbbsupplyservices.co.uk, and we'll see if one of our web guys can help you with your current website, or if you're buying a website from us, because we are helping trade partners with the websites. So if you wanted a blog section added onto your website, we can do that for you. So, right, I hope that was useful. Keep checking back to the hub, because we're always uploading stuff and trying to be helpful and help you grow your business. So we'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.